Learn how to extract all values from an object as an array. In this example, we are going to be looking at how object values method takes an object and return all its values in an array. So there are steps outlines that I have added as comments inside the script tag, and we are going to be following it one after the other in order to make the example. So let's go ahead. The first step says create object person. So I'll go ahead and make an object of person. Create person object. And inside it, I'll just add first name. And add last name. And also give it a value. Now, let me also add age. Something like maybe eye color. And then give it also a value. Now I've created object person. Now, step 2 says call objects, values, and person. So now that I have this object, I need a way to call it. So how do I simply do this? Well, I'll just go ahead and call the method object. You can see that the O is a capital O. So object values, and then I've passed in my object inside it. This is the object, the person object. So I need to pass it inside the object value. Now that I've done it, step 3 now says store result in text, which means I need to store the result of this inside text variable. So I have done that, and now that I've done that, step 4 says convert values to array. So here is where the values that I have here needs to be converted into an array. And so how do we do that? Well, this object.values method is what is now going to take the properties of our object and convert it into our array, and then store that inside the text variable. So what we need to do is just to now display the results. So I'll go ahead to display the results. So what should we output in this situation? So what do you think I'm going to put after this equal assignment operator? What do you think I'm going to put? Well, guess. Okay, you already know what we are going to put. Well, we are simply just going to put text. And then you should see the output. You can see Brian Cornell 50 and blue. Now you can see that this example collects all values from this person objects and display them. So this is what collects all the values from this person object, and then it is now displaying them in an array. So look at it, Brian Cornell 50 and then blue. So this is what the object values method allow us to do in JavaScript. So the object person is what we first created. Then this object.value reads all values. Values are now placed into an array, and then array is now being displayed as a text, and that is the exact illustration of what you can see on the screen. Now, in this example, the values method here is what we are using to ask our objects to give us all the values. And so when we get all the values, we use object values to collect all those values inside the object. And instead of accessing each property one by one, we get them all at once as an array. What that is saying is that instead of us to be saying person.age, we'll be getting each of these one by one. You can see, if I want to go the object way, I'll be getting the values one by one. We use the values method to get all of them at once. Just with this text, you can see all the values are being displayed once as an array and not longer as an each property of the object. So this method helps when you want to look through or display object data quickly. So this is the usefulness of this method. The situation where you need to just look through or display object data quickly. Object.values method is an handy method that you can rely on to achieve that. Object.values method simplify working with object data by converting it into an easy to use array. And that is the main thing that this method help us do in JavaScript. Here are some key takeaways from this lesson. Number one, extract values easily from objects. We can do that easily with object.values method. The result is always an array. You can see that all the values are gotten together at once and displayed as an array in form of a text. And this method is useful for loops and display. Don't forget that object itself stores key value pairs. This is the key and this is the value. And the object method returns only values and the output is always an array displayed in form of text.